This came in on Monday, August 3rd, 2026. I want to be completely flat out honest about my first reaction because it wasn't fear and it definitely wasn't curiosity. I get a lot of these. People send me servers they swear are haunted. 99 times out of 100, it's a friend with access and way too much free time. The tell is always the same and they oversell it by telling you it's terrifying. But this one, it didn't tell me anything. Okay, so it's up. That's not weird. People leave servers running. I've left servers running before. I'm gonna email the host later to see who's actually paying for it though.
Dude, there's no way. August 3rd, 2022? That's 4 years ago, dude. It's blank. Oh. It goes black.
Definitely say is there was no fight or any drama that went on. I went through 4 years of logs looking for the moment it broke, and there isn't one at all. I think people just stopped, and the last 3 months are 2 people asking if anyone's online. And I think that is the sad part, honestly. There's no story here, and there's just a room with the lights left on. And I don't think we'll ever know really why they left.
That's how I end everything. I ask a question, I don't answer it, and I let the comments argue. It's a format, and it works surprisingly well. I'd like to be able to tell you I thought about that line again at some point in the next 6 weeks. I didn't, not once.
Oh crap, wait. What the? Yo, hold up. Okay. What the?
3 things checked out, and I want to walk through them, because this is the part where a normal story ends and a new one begins. 1, the server's real. It's up, and it's been up continuously for 2 years and 41 days as you saw earlier. 2, the hosting is paid. I contacted the provider as a former documentarian of the server, which is a sentence that opens more doors than it should, honestly. Diamond SMP was bought on a 5-year prepaid plan. Someone paid for it all at once, 4 years ago, back when they thought it was going to last. It's got 11 months left. 3, the chunk. The coordinates in the message point at a spot in the ocean, and the chunk data there was written to 8 days ago, which is a problem because the session logs say nobody has connected to the server in 2 years. So either somebody's got a way in that doesn't touch the logs, the file's corrupted, or somebody's messing with me. Those are the 3 doors, and one of them is open.
Okay, so the coordinates, we're pretty close actually now. Okay, negative 1204683391. This is it. Where is it? Like I'm not seeing anything. Why have 60A? Sea level's like 62, 63. So whatever's out here, it's above the water. It's not a shipwreck, it's not a ruin or anything. It's something else. This is like a weird place to build also, like.
I want to flag something about that number before we get there, because I didn't think about it for about 3 weeks. 68. Whoever sent that message didn't give me a build, a name, or a screenshot. They gave me a Y level. They told me how high off the water it was. You only know that if you stood on it.
Whoa. What? Okay.
Pike. Okay, Pike's one of the 11. I think Pike's on the founder list. Cod, salmon, fishing rods. Damn, enchanted lure 3, luck C2. Somebody's been fishing. Nothing in that hut was utterly strange, and that's the part I need you to hold on to. It was a nice fishing hut with 3 boats and a fish chest. And the only strange thing about it was that I was standing in it and it was not there yesterday. Here's the thing that makes this server different from every other one I've covered, and it's the only real advantage I've ever had. I've already been here. In 2021, I spent 9 days on Diamond SMP making a 41-minute video about it, and I filmed everything, because that's what you do. I have 11 hours of raw footage on a server from 2 years ago, which means I don't have to guess wherever something changed. I can look. That's... Okay, so that's not the same building. No, it's the same building. It's the same building with more of it. Somebody finished Pike's hut. The sign has a 4th line now. In 2021, that sign said, Pike's, not a house, it is a hut. Now, on the 4th line, it says, do not argue. Somebody added a joke to sign 2 years after everybody left on a server that hasn't had a login since. So I did the obvious thing, which took 4 days and is the least interesting footage I've ever recorded. I went through my own 2021 video and I made a list of every single build I filmed, and I went and stood in all of them.
Okay, 2021 and then 2026. Someone changed. 2021, 2026 completed. 2021 and 2026.
31 builds, 25 of them are untouched down to the block. 6 have changed. Nothing on that list is damaged. I want to be precise because I spent about 2 weeks getting this wrong. Nothing has been broken, nothing has been stolen, and nothing has been defaced. Everything on that list is a thing that was half done in 2021 and is done now.
Right, so the obvious version of this is that one of the old members came back. Somebody logs in occasionally, walks around, finishes bits and pieces. That's like kind of sweet, because that shows that they missed the server. Except the session logs say nobody's connected in 2 years. So either the logs are wrong, or the login is going through the front door, or, just saying, that person doesn't exist. And I can check all 3 of those.
The next section of this video is the boring bit, and I'm not cutting it because if I skip it, everything after it is worthless.
Whoa! Aubrey V, GrieveHollow, Pike, Tomo, Early C, Early Aftercare, GrieveHollow. OPs, Aubrey V and Pike. Session log entry. This is a session log entries, right? Aubrey. Okay, she logged in for 4 minutes, and okay. So it seems she spawns, and then we're gonna guess she walks. She doesn't build anything. She doesn't open anything. She walks from spawn, and then she logs out. And that's it. That's the last thing that ever happened to the server.
Aubrey founded Diamond SMP. She's the one who bought the 5-year hosting plan up front 4 years ago when she thought it was going to last. 23 months ago, She logged in, walked somewhere, stood there for a few minutes, and left. I didn't go and look at what she was looking at for another 9 days, which is the single stupidest thing I did on this entire project. So we're gonna check this off real quick because I want this scene to fly by fast. First, data packs. I did /data pack list and it returned vanilla only. The data packs in the server folder showed nothing. Second, the server jar file. I hashed it and compared it against Mojang's published checksum for the version. It matched 100%. That is not a modded server. That is the actual file Mojang put out on the internet. 3. Could it be command blocks? No. I flight a grid in spectator mode. Over 240 chunks, 4 hours, and there was 0 command blocks, 0 structure blocks, 0 jigsaws or whatever, and 0 armor stands of anything we're on. Nothing at all. Number 4, the host panel. Nobody's touched the panel. Nobody's uploaded a file, nobody's restarted it, nobody's run a console command in 4 years. No account, no session, no plugin, no data pack, no modified jar, no command block, and no panel access. There is no mechanism. I checked everything I know to check, and there is no mechanism, and I want to be honest about what that did to me at the time, which is that it made me pretty excited. I had a video. While I was doing all this, I went on a side quest. I started emailing everybody I could find in the whitelist form. 19 of those emails were deactivated, 11 were delivered with no reply, but 1 replied.
Okay, so I got a response. How did you get this address? That's it? That's the whole email? Off an old form prompt from 2019, mate. It's fine. It's not sinister, bro. I'm not stalking you. I'll be honest with him and see what happens.
That user is GrieveHollow. He built about a third of everything on that server, and he'd stopped playing it 8 months before it died. He didn't write back for another 5 weeks. As you saw in the email, I reached out to PebbleHost to ask them 2 questions. 1, obviously, when was the last login to the host panel? And 2, when was the last automated backup before 2026? Something I saw in the email which was pretty funny was that also the employee was saying it was pretty unusual since the last login was 2025.
So this is the backup from PebbleHost. This is a copy from 14 months ago, May 2025, but it's saying last played 2024. But if somebody's been building recently, then in this one, the hut should still be half finished. Okay. Oh. Okay. Stilts are gone. Dude, there's only a few stilts. There's only 2 stilts. Hold up. Okay, wait, it's finished. It's finished. Oh, wait, no. Okay, so my predictions were correct. So the roof is finished, but the house, look, it's not done halfway yet.
That's the first genuinely useful thing I found, and it took me a week to notice why it mattered. The hut in 2021 is a small build. The first floor and 2 posts. 14 months ago, it's got walls and a roof. Now it's got a second story, a lantern, and a joke on the side. It isn't being built fast, it's being built slowly, over years, by something that is in no hurry at all.
Alright, so new plan. I've been treating this like a file problem, and it's most definitely not a file problem. It's a person problem. There's somebody on the server, obviously, and I don't know how they're getting in, and I don't need to know how they're getting in. I need to catch them. So I'm gonna stop fooling around and reading, and I'm just gonna go and live near the hut for a bit.
I spent the next 19 days on Diamond SP, mostly at night, mostly alone, which is a sentence that sounds more dramatic than it was. I built a small base next to the hut. I set up detectors, and I got quite bored. And then, on the 6th day, while I wasn't recording, something walked past me.
Okay. Okay, we're done. I hope I'm filming, because I didn't do that. I've just been throwing stuff in here for like 4 days. Now it's all sorted by color. Is everything there? Essential iron pickaxe. Yeah, everything's there. It's just like they tidied it up for me. What?
Nothing was ever taken from me on Diamond SMP. Not one item in 19 days. Light to dark, by the way. It sorted the blocks light to dark. I found out 4 months later that one of the 11, a guy named Tomo, used to do that, and everybody used to take the mickey out of him for it. I did not know that at the time. At the time, I just knew something did it, and it looked tidy.
Alright, so I'm taking video of this because I can't believe this. This actually kind of freaked me out. I'm gonna open the door, right? You're gonna see in a few seconds, right? I'm opening the door, right? Let's pretend we're not doing anything. Let's pretend like we're not doing anything, right? Like we're looking out here. Oh, wait for it. Wait for it. What the like? I'm gonna try it again. Watch. I'm gonna come back a few hours later now, right? Okay, I'm back now. We're gonna teleport up there and see. We're just gonna see. Where the hell am I? Okay, so my game glitched and I died, as you saw. But I was right there, right? I was right there. Why is there a block there broken? And the door is closed.
I never worked that out. Not in part 1 and not since. That door is closed every time anybody arrives at it, and no one has ever seen it open. There are 3 or 4 things on Diamond SP like that. They don't lead anywhere, they don't mean anything as far as I can tell, and they're still true.
That's a person mining. That's a person mining. Where is that? Dude, my render distance is on like 12. What is that? It's north. There's nothing here. There's nothing here. My rendered distance is on 12. That sound was over there. I ran for like 15 seconds. That's a couple hundred blocks, bro. That's outside 12 chunks. Chunks that aren't loaded don't make noise. They're not being simulated, so they don't make noise. So either my client's like playing with me, or something or someone loaded a chunk that's like 200 freaking blocks away from me.
That's the first time I said out loud that something was loading chunks, and I want to point at it now because it's the only correct thing I said for another 2 weeks.
Okay. This is like... No. Hang on. Okay, I'm just gonna keep walking. I'm not gonna think about that.
In the second clip, it's one footstep. That's it. That's the whole thing. I've listened to that clip more than any other 20 seconds of footage I own, and I can tell you 2 things about it. It's on stone, and it's the same volume as mine, which means it's the same distance from me as I am from me. And it stops when I stop, not because I heard me stop. It stops a fraction after, which is what it sounds like when something is walking behind you and doesn't want to be caught doing it.
What? 3, 6, 9, 11, 12. 12 chairs. There's 11 founders. 11 original people on the whitelist. That's 12 chairs for 11 people. Maybe somebody sat on the floor. Save for. Save for who? That's... Somebody started, like, writing a name and never finished it. Okay, that's actually a bit... Moving on.
I counted the chairs on camera because I count things on camera. It's something I do a lot. I've been told it's annoying. If you go back and watch that clip, you'll see me walk straight past it.
Okay. No. No. Okay. Tab says 1. It says 1 out of 20. There's 1 person on the server and it's me. Come on. Nothing.
I sat there for about 20 minutes typing at nobody. I found out later that anyone on appears in Diamond SMP's chat logs 41 times. All of them in the last 3 months before the server died. All of them from Aubrey. At the time, I thought something was talking to me. I want to be fair about myself about that, because it's the obvious thing to think about when a dead server says hello. So I decided to stop waiting for it and started trying to catch it. And I want to walk through these properly because 2 of them fail, and the way they fail turns out to matter more than the one that works. Detector 1, the despawn test. Dropped items despawn after 5 minutes, but if the chunk's not loaded, the items just sit there forever. So if I come back in 3 days and are gone, something loaded this chunk while I was away. If they're still here, nothing did. Detector 2, the sealed room. Redundancy. If something's clever enough to spot a tripwire, it's clever enough to reset it. So there's another one it hopefully doesn't know about. Detector 3, the skulk latch. This one's the good one. This is a motion detector. If anything moves anywhere near this thing, that lamp comes on and it stays on. And I don't care how clever you are, you can't unsee a lamp. Beautiful, right? I'm gonna go away for a week.
Okay, I'm back. I'm finally checking on this. Nothing. Nothing came through. Nothing came through that door. Okay, let me check the other one. Okay. Off. It's off. Nothing's came through here in a week. That's... Okay, that's good news, I guess. That means the footsteps all of it, it's... I don't know. Client side something. That's a normal answer. Okay, this one. We're at the right words. Okay. Oh. They're gone. So that means something loaded this chunk in the past week. What? But the sensor's saying nothing moved and the tripwires, nothing came through. That doesn't... No. Those all can't be true. Maybe I had a problem in whatever it was. Because this, I don't know, man. Like, you literally saw the footage. I'll check again. There was nothing here. I put the blocks right here. What?
2 detectors said nothing was here. 1 said something was. The correct thing to do at that point would have been to trust the one that disagreed with Faye. I did the opposite because 2 beats 1, and because I had been alone on empty server for 11 days and I wanted the boring answer to win. I spent the next 9 days convinced I debunked myself. I'm gonna be quick about this bit because there's nothing in it. Day 13, nothing. Day 15, the door was open again, but I've stopped caring about the door. Day 17, I think I've made a video about a server where nothing happens, which is pretty on brand to be fair. 9 days, and in all 9 of them, the one thing I never did was go back and look at the circuit.
So this is my last one, bro. This is gonna be genuinely horrible, so that if anyone with eyes looks at this chest, they're gonna think they want to sort it. So, alright. Documented, I'm going to bed, bro.
Well,
Yeah, so it's not gone.
that was the exact moment I stopped believing my own detectors, and it's the moment this stopped being a video about a haunted server, and actually it started being a video about a thing that finishes what you leave lying around. "11 things. And once you put my stuff on the same list as their stuff, it stops looking like a haunting and starts looking like a job. Nothing here is broken, nothing here is stolen, nothing here is defaced or moved or made worse. Every single item on that list is something somebody started and stopped. It's not griefing, it's the opposite of griefing actually. It's tidying up, basically."
Whoa. Home. Who's home? Home from where? No, that's just what you write. It's crossroads. There's 4 directions. 3 of them have labels. It's just finishing the sign. Huh. Okay. Bro, I'm running out. Oh my gosh. Whoa. Oh. Wait, that's lovely. That's a nice building. I like this. Hold up. It's not a creepy thing. It's just like a nice building. Like, that's somehow worse though. I don't know why that's somehow worse that it's a nice building.
Here's what nobody warns you about. It isn't ugly and it isn't wrong. Nothing's bleeding out of the walls. It's a nice thing on the server, and it's about 40% more finished than it was when I filmed it, and the man who built it hasn't logged in since 2021. I want to tell you about a gap. When Grieve built a wall into a column, he'd measure it wrong by 1 block. Every time. And instead of pulling the wall over and redoing it, he'd shove a stair block in the hole and carry on. It's not a design choice, and he does it in everything he ever built in the server, and they used to rip him for it. Aubrey called it the Grieve gap, and at one point, she had put it on a sign. He stopped building in around 2023. The West Terrace was scaffolding in open air, 2 levels of it unbuilt, and by his own estimate, about 40,000 blocks of stone away from done. I spent 2 days counting. There are 412 of those gaps in the parts he had never built, and they're not evenly spread. Down at the bottom, they're every 20 or 30 blocks. By the top, they're every 4 or 5. They cluster the higher you go, which makes sense in the sections he actually built because scaffolding is miserable and everybody rushes to top. They cluster at the same height in the sections he didn't. Whoever finished that building got tired in the same place he did. Here's what I thought at the time, and I don't think it's a stupid thought. I thought somebody had gone through his old work very carefully and was copying his habits. That's strange, but it's a thing a person could do. People do stranger things than that before breakfast. Here's what I couldn't make fit. If you're finishing a building, you don't need any of it. A roof is a roof. Nothing about completing somebody's house requires you to find a specific mistake they used to make and reproduce it 412 times at the correct increase in frequency all the way up a wall. Geez, tiring. That isn't faster or better, it's 412 deliberate flaws. I sat in the longhouse to record this because I'd stopped going to the Hollow about a week earlier. Nothing had happened there, I want to be clear about that. Nothing happened, I wasn't frightened of it, I just found I was routing around it. I didn't notice I'd started doing that until I watched his back. And I knew there was exactly one person alive who could tell me whether any of it meant anything. And he called me back 2 days later. 5 weeks after I emailed him, and about 2 days after I finished counting slabs, he sent me a phone number and a 2-hour window. Obviously, I've cut this down. It ran 41 minutes, and most of it isn't mine to put in a video. This is the part that is.
You are now calling 2125-550-142.
Is it alright if I record this for the video? Yeah, go on. That's a weird thing to say yes to, isn't it? Like, can I record you and you just go, yeah, sure? I mean, you can say no if you wanted to, like, I'm not forcing you or... No, it's fine, just record it. Okay, so, what do you want me to call you? Grieve's fine. Okay. It's not my name, obviously. Well, I assume that. Right, so, I watched your video, the one you made about the server in 2022. Oh, okay. That one? Yeah. It's alright, it's not a criticism. It's quite good, actually. You got the tone right, which I wasn't really expecting. Okay, thanks. Yes, like, I'm not really proud of that video, but... You got one thing wrong, though. Go on. You said no one knows why it died. Like, it was a mystery. Why it had... You know, not everything is a mystery. Aubrey had a kid. Marcus went on nights. Sasha moved to Leeds. Raul got a girlfriend who doesn't play Minecraft. That's it. That's the entire thing. Everyone got a life, slightly at different times, and nobody was rude enough to say it out loud. So, we all just sort of split, you know? Well, that's kinda more or less what I said back then. Well, you said it like it was sad. Well, wasn't it? Yeah, alright. Well, okay, can I ask you why you stopped? You went 8 months before everybody else. Because of the terrace. The West Terrace? I've been on that build for 18 months, and I got to the point where the next bit was 2 levels of scaffolding and about 40,000 blocks of stone, and I sat there one night, and I did the sum, properly did it, worked out how many hours. How many? Doesn't matter. It was a number where I went, oh, I'm not doing that. And I told Marcus I'd finish it that day because that's what you say. And then I didn't log on the next day, and then I didn't log on the day after, and after about 3 weeks... I need to tell you something, and I don't really know how to do it without sounding like an idiot.
Pause. What he said was a conversation that was in the chat archive on February the 14th, 2024 at 1 in the morning. It's the last thing Grieve ever said on that server. And he didn't know I'd already read it. Okay, back to the video.
Go on then. The West Terrace is finished. No, it isn't. It is. Both the levels and the scaffolding's, like, gone. Who finished it? That's sort of the thing I am making a video about, Grieve. Alright, okay, so it's one of that lot? It's Pike, isn't it? Pike to do that? Pike hasn't logged in for 2 years. Nobody has. That's, you know, the entire video, I've checked, there's no logins, no accounts, there's nothing. Then somebody's gone on the server some other way. Maybe. Well, obviously. Yeah. Maybe. Well. Is it any good? Sorry? The terrace? Is it any good? It's, well, I'd say it's beautiful. Can I ask you a really specific question? You've already asked me about 40. So, when you build, you leave a gap where a wall meets a column, and you fill it with a slab instead of moving the wall. Oh, don't you start. They used to give you a hard time about it, yeah. Bree called it the Grieve Gap. She called it that for 2 years straight, dude. She put it on a sign. There are 412 of them in Hollow. Yeah, that sounds about right. In the finished bits, too. No. What? No, I stopped doing that. What? ages ago. 2023 maybe? I got sick of being ripped for it, so I actually sat down and learned to plan the wall properly. It took about a month and I've not done it since. Like, you can go and look. There's stuff I built in the last 6 months on there that hasn't got a single one.
The new sections of the terrace have 412 of them.
But it's not me.
No, I know it's
No,
not you.
I mean, it's not me now. If someone's copying me, they've copied me 4 years ago. They've basically copied the version of me that couldn't measure and couldn't build properly. Why would you do that?
I don't know.
No, but why would you do that? If you're finishing someone's building, you'd finish it properly. You wouldn't just put 400 mistakes on it on purpose.
I know, dude.
That's a lot of effort to be worse at it.
What Grieve just said is the closest anybody has come to asking the right question about any of this, and he asked it about 90 seconds after finding out it was happening. I didn't have an answer for him, and I still don't have one now.
Last thing, and then I'll leave you alone. The top 2 levels, the bit you never built, what was it gonna be, if I may ask?
Why do you ask?
Because I want to know if it got it right. You know? Grieve?
Yeah.
Do you want to...
No.
You don't have to describe the whole... like...
No. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Because if I tell you and it's wrong, then someone's ruined my building. If I tell you and it's right, listen, I'd rather not know. I've spent 2 years being a weirdo who didn't finish something. I'm alright at that now. I believe I've got quite good at it.
That's... I guess that's fair?
Don't send me pictures.
I won't.
I mean it. Please don't send me pictures of it.
I won't. I like, promise you, I won't.
Good luck with your video.
I never sent him pictures. And I thought about the thing he said more than almost anything else on this project. It's a lot of effort to be worse at it. Because he's right. If you're finishing somebody's house, you finish it. You don't go back through 4 years of their work, find a specific mistake they used to make, work out roughly when they stopped making it, and then reproduce it 412 times at the correct increasing frequency all the way up a wall. Nothing needs to do that. Finishing a build does not require that. But it did it anyway, and I don't know why, and I didn't chase it, and I want you to remember that I had this exact information at 59 minutes into my own video, and I moved on to something else. Diamond SMP's chat logs go back about 4 years, and it's about 600,000 lines. There are texts for the video, and you can search it. All of them. All 6, word for word. Every single thing it has ever said to me was typed by somebody else years ago about something completely different. It has never said anything. I want to be careful about what this does and doesn't prove because I got it wrong at the time in a way that took me months to sort out. It doesn't prove nobody's there. Somebody could be quoting the logs at me, and that's a thing a person could do. Obviously it's creepy, and it's the sort of thing you do if you want to unsettle a documentary maker who'd already read them. What it proves is narrower and worse. In 19 days, it never wrote a sentence of its own. It never asked a question. Go back and look. There isn't a question mark in there that isn't part of the quote. It never used my name, and it never said anything that wasn't already sitting in text file on that server. Which means I've spent 19 days having a conversation, and only one of us has been in it.
Alright, so I built something. Same block, same biome, same chunk loading situation. I don't know how far that is apart. The only difference is that one of these obviously means something, and one of them obviously doesn't. If it finishes both, It's just reacting to loose blocks. If it finishes neither, I've wasted a week. If it finishes the arch and leaves the mess, then it's not looking at blocks, it's looking at what I wanted it to build. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I thought, and I really didn't want it to be. Oh, where I put them. Hang on, no, look. Nothing where I put them here. Wait, finish that. Okay, so it's not the blocks. It's never been the blocks. If you can tell what somebody was trying to do, it does the rest of it. If you can't tell, it doesn't touch it. The mess doesn't mean anything, so it isn't anything.
I ran that test 3 more times with different shapes and it held every time. A half-dug staircase gets finished. A hole doesn't. 3 blocks in a line don't. 3 blocks lining the 4th, that makes it obvious you were building stairs, do. 1 block's difference between something it can read and something it can't. And it's a model, not a law. 11 data points in 3 weeks. But if I'm anywhere near right, it isn't finishing buildings. It's finishing intentions. A building's just the most obvious place to leave one lying about.
Okay, so the next thing I want to do is, if it's intention based, the next thing I want to like, oh. Listen, okay. Alright. I don't know what happened to the footage. I don't know. I'm too scared to look. I can't even click out of Minecraft. Can't do anything on my PC. I fell. Okay, I fell, and that's all I know. I'm in the middle of no swear. Just. It's just a game. It's just a game. It's just a game. At least I like. I've people to show it to, right? I don't know. I'm getting chills, right? Slow. Keep slow. What the f- Just a wide stone corridor. Okay, I'm at 3 bars. I seriously don't like. I don't know what's like. I'm at 3 bars. What's gonna happen to me? What do you want from me? What do you want? What do you want?